On September 25, 2012, the Liaoning officially entered service with the People's Navy under Hull Number 16. From that day forward, China had its first operational aircraft carrier. Between December 2016 and January 2017, the Liaoning Carrier Group achieved several major milestones. It conducted its first live fire training exercises, including air-to-air and air-to-surface drills in the Bahai Sea. It then led a blue water training group through the Miyako Strait into the Western Pacific and the South China Sea. This marked the first time the Liaoning had sailed beyond the first island chain for training since entering service. On June 25, 2017, the Liaoning Carrier Group departed from Qingdao to begin cross-regional maneuver training. The mission lasted 22 days, during which the Carrier Group operated in the Bahai Sea, Yellow Sea, East China Sea, and South China Sea, covering more than 4,600 nautical miles. As the Liaoning continued to set new records in blue water training, China's first domestically built aircraft carrier also began its own long-distance operations. From April to May 2023, the Shandong Carrier Group conducted its first large-scale, systematic deployment to the Western Pacific as part of combat readiness patrols around Taiwan and the Joint Sword exercise. The Shandong Carrier Group coordinated closely with naval and air units, with J-15 carrier-based aircraft taking off in rotation to rapidly establish an integrated carrier strike group in the exercise area. The transition from a single carrier operating independently to two carriers conducting coordinated operations reflects the growing maturity of China's carrier capabilities and marks a new stage in system-level combat readiness. In October 2024, the Liaoning and Shandong conducted their first dual carrier formation exercise. In June 2025, the two carrier groups are scheduled to operate in the Yellow Sea, East China Sea, South China Sea, and Western Pacific, integrating with other naval and joint forces to conduct realistic confrontation training under opposing conditions. This will be the first time the two carrier groups carry out systematic blue water confrontation exercises following their joint dual carrier drill the previous year. 3 years earlier in April, the Shandong conducted its first long-distance training mission to the Western Pacific. It took more than 4 years for the Liaoning to conduct its first Western Pacific deployment after entering service, but the Shandong achieved this in just 3 years and 3 months. What explains this faster pace? The Liaoning, as the People's Navy's first aircraft carrier, initially served as a carrier training platform, allowing the Navy to gain experience and develop operational procedures. By the time the Shandong entered service, the People's Navy had already accumulated substantial experience, and its operational concepts were significantly more refined. By fully exploring the Shandong's capabilities, the carrier was able to develop a stronger combat capacity in a relatively short period. It can carry out missions efficiently in both nearshore and distant sea environments. Not only has the timeline for conducting blue water operations shortened, but the methods of conducting such training have also evolved. The People's Navy has conducted two dual carrier joint exercises, the first in October 2024, and the second in June 2025, during which the two carrier groups met in open waters for systematic confrontation training. How do you view this development? Training for dual carrier formations has progressed from basic coordination to more complex operations. Once both carriers reach full operational capability, the next step is to further enhance joint carrier tactics to their highest potential. Operating two carrier groups together allows for a more concentrated application of force, enabling them to address more challenging targets simultaneously. Whether in long-range strike operations or in air defense and anti-submarine missions, the combined effect can exceed the sum of individual capabilities. High-intensity confrontation exercises between the Shandong and the Liaoning are designed to test whether the formations can withstand and counter an adversary's offensive actions in a contested maritime environment. Through systematic confrontation training, the forces will be better prepared to handle future operational tasks with confidence. From single carrier operations to dual carrier coordination And now to dual carrier confrontation training. What improvements will these evolving methods bring to the People's Navy's blue water combat capabilities? To achieve effective blue water combat capability, a force must first be able to operate at extended distances and maintain strong control over its operational environment. The People's Navy's carrier strike system has been continuously developing and cannot remain limited to nearshore or coastal defense missions. When a carrier group operates in distant seas, it demonstrates that the broader maritime combat system can move beyond the constraints of the island chain, gaining greater strategic flexibility. This allows the force both to counter potential blockades or containment efforts and to support broader operational objectives. If coordinated dual carrier training signals the growing maturity of China's carrier strike system, then the introduction of the Fujian represents another significant step forward. The Fujian is China's first aircraft carrier to be fully designed and built domestically and equipped with electromagnetic catapult technology. On May 8, 2024, the Fujian successfully completed its first 8-day sea trial. During the trial, the Fujian conducted a series of tests on its propulsion, power systems, and other onboard equipment, achieving the expected results. On November 5, 2025, the Fujian was officially commissioned as the world's first conventionally powered aircraft carrier equipped with electromagnetic catapults. The Fujian represents a significant technological advancement, marking China's entry into a new stage of carrier development and the People's Navy's transition into a three-carrier era. Immediately after commissioning, the Fujian began its first operational training mission at sea. During this mission, multiple carrier-based aircraft including the J-35, J-15T, J-15DT, and KJ-600 conducted repeated catapult launches and arrested landings. The Fujian carrier group also carried out training information maneuvering, as well as coordinated ship aircraft, search and rescue operations. In addition, after commissioning, the Fujian transited the Taiwan Strait multiple times and conducted scientific research and training missions in the East China Sea, South China Sea, and other waters. Reports indicate that in 2026, the Fujian will transition from achieving basic combat capability to reaching full operational capability, marking a key year in the development of its combat readiness.